Well, that sucked. Um, that's it. That's the show. Have a good night, everybody. That sucked. No, seriously. Welcome to the Phoenix Suns versus Sacramento Kings post-game live show with your host, Suns Geek. We're going to talk about a pretty frustrating loss against a really good Sacramento Kings team. And I do want to repeat that a lot during tonight's show because the Sacramento Kings are second place in the Western Conference for a reason. Even if somehow they fall to the third seed, which I think is unlikely, they are a really, really good team. And I do understand that the officiating tonight was absolutely horrible. And we're going to get into that because it really was. But I hope that they put a lot of Suns fans who may not be paying attention to the Kings. I hope they put a lot of Suns fans on notice because they are a really solid team. So I always say this every show, you guys. I don't know how long I'm going to go live for tonight. I always say that, and then we end up going like an hour or an hour and a half. But for real this time, don't know how long we're going to go live. However, though, I am officially on spring break. Yes, I have a second job outside of this YouTube stuff. So you know what? I'm going to crack open a good old cold. I need a beer after this Suns game, Budweiser. So let me know what y'all are drinking out there, even if you're just drinking. I think I need to pick my mic up a little bit. Can you guys hear me okay? But yeah, we're going to be drinking a little bit tonight. So cheers, and let's do this. Let's talk about this frustrating game. Cheers. All right. So the Phoenix Suns fall to the Sacramento Kings tonight, 128 to 119 in a I'm sorry, I have to trust the comment real quick. Oh, so you really are a teacher geek, says Iverson. You guys are great. If you guys have been following me for a while, you guys know that the Suns Geek is a teacher, as Sawbuck says, is like kind of an inside joke on this channel. A spring break question mark. We always knew Suns Geek was a professor. So good. But anyways, guys, the Phoenix Suns fall to the Sacramento Kings tonight, 128 to 116. As I was trying to say, this seemed like a game where it was going to come down to the wire, down to the final shot. And then all of a sudden, I think the Sacramento Kings end the game on a 13-4 run. They ended the game on a 13-4 run. The Suns had 6 turnovers late in the game in the fourth quarter. Well, not late in the game, but in the fourth quarter. And look, you guys, I understand that the officiating was really bad tonight, and it definitely was a contributing factor to this loss. But this was a game where the Phoenix Suns just didn't play consistent basketball. It seemed like they would have a lot of highs, they'd have a lot of lows. It was a roller coaster of a game in terms of the Suns. This Suns team, with or without KD, just needs to learn to keep the foot on the gas pedal and just dominate. Because what did we see really early in this game? It was 17-6 early on. 17-6. And I understand that no lead is safe in the NBA. But the Phoenix Suns got to play basketball consistently for 40 out of 48 minutes. I was saying that way before the KD trade. I said it a lot last season. I said it a lot early on this season. They need to play consistent basketball 40 out of 48 minutes. You can struggle in games. You can struggle in quarters. That's fine. This is basketball. There's no lead is safe. But you got to pounce on teams. You got to learn to hold leads. You can't let the Sacramento Kings bench cook us, which they absolutely did. It was tough. They literally took their foot off of the gas pedal. And as you guys are saying in the comments right now, I miss KD. I miss KD too. I miss Tyler Ulis. Go to kid. You're a real one. I miss KD also, y'all. I even tweeted that out. I said that this would have been a really good game for Kevin Durant to play in because you need a guy like KD in a game like this. I believe that if the Suns would have hit a few more threes as well in this game and had KD, that we probably would have crushed the Kings tonight. But this was a really solid performance for the Sacramento Kings. And just again, you guys, like, I think the Kings at one point had 34 bench points in 18 minutes. That was around the 441 mark, I want to say, of the second or third quarter. Yeah, second quarter. We were down 54-48 at that point. And then shout out to my guy John over at the Suns Jam Session podcast. He tweeted this out. He said, Kings have more free throw attempts in the first half than the Suns have had in 47 games. The Kings had 26 free throw attempts in the first half, more than the Suns have had in 47 games. That is ridiculous. The officiating tonight was terrible. The first half was really hard to watch after the Suns were leading 17-6 early because there were so many foul calls and everybody kept getting to the whistle. Iverson Vlog says, I miss Earl Watson and I miss the Morris twins. Guys, y'all are making me laugh. Shot Chucker says, guys, legit, we're doing too much on offense. Ross was trying to split defenders. Okogie was trying to dribble like a globetrotter. This is hilarious, y'all. Y'all keep those funny comments going. I'm going to take another sip of my beer and we'll continue to talk about this. Cheers. All right, let's keep going here. So besides the horrible officiating, besides the most free throw attempts the Kings, had, and the Suns not having that many, and a very poor officiated game, the Suns, we got to give them a little credit. They did chip away at this game, especially in the third quarter. They played it much more aggressive. They were much more focused. They were good on defense. The Suns bench stepped up in the third quarter. I want to say it was Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, and Josh Okogie in that third quarter. I think they had like eight or nine times they each scored. And then Booker and Ross contributed to that as well. The third quarter was absolutely solid. One of the best quarters I've seen. Bench scoring was obviously a huge factor in this game for both teams. I think at the end of the third quarter, the Kings bench had like 50 points. It was probably more than that to end the game. I want to say maybe close to 60. And then again, 6 turnovers for the Suns in the fourth quarter, 13-4 run from the Kings to end the game. And again, this just would have been a great game for Kevin Durant to play in. We really missed KD tonight. First off, can we just appreciate the fact that Kevin Durant's on the Suns and he was really missed tonight? That just goes to show the gravity and how great of a player KD is, because we really could have used Kevin Durant tonight. So let's dive into some stats real quick. First, we're going to do the team stats here. This was a high scoring game for both teams, especially percentage wise. The Suns shot 49%. The Kings shot 48%. I'm not making these numbers up. The Suns hit 13 threes tonight. The Kings hit 15 threes, 42, basically 43%. They're 15 for 35 from three, which, by the way, I've said it before and I'll say it again, you guys. The Suns closeout defense when it comes to three, when it comes to guarding the three and closing out the three on defense, is absolutely terrible. That is something they need to work on. Guarding the damn three, closing out on threes, contesting threes, getting back on defense even. There were so many times tonight where the Suns just didn't get back on defense. Guys looked lost out there at times. They weren't closing out. They weren't contesting. I mean, guys, the Sacramento Kings, who, again, don't get me wrong, they are, let me just make sure I'm getting this correct. The Sacramento Kings this season are leading the league in points per game, 121, and they have the second highest field goal percentage, shooting 50%. And I'm sure their three-point numbers are off the charts as well. But tonight, 15 three-pointers made. They attempted 35. That's 43%. They were cooking tonight. And again, I think they punished the Suns' bad defense from three. The Suns just can't guard the three for some reason this season. Let's talk about those free throws. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Sorry, I was just reading something. Sorry. Let's start with the Kings. 31 free throws made, 37 attempted. Now, keep in mind, I think at halftime they had, let's just double check. I think it just read, they had 26 at halftime. 31 for 37 tonight from the free throw line, 83.8%. Suns shot 81%. They had 18 for 22. Didn't seem like they got a lot of those free throws until like the second half. Am I crazy? That's definitely noted. You guys, excuse me. You guys saw that terrible call at the pretty much near the end of the game when Booker was driving in and Sabonis was like grabbing his arm and Booker just kind of, I mean, I don't know how hard he hit him on the face, but he hit Sabonis on the face and they called an offensive foul on Devin Booker. That was just a small example of how terrible the officiating was. But that was sort of my biggest like complaint. Like I was tweeting about it and the officiating is horrible. Again, just go back and look at that offensive foul. I think Bally Sports Arizona on Twitter tweeted it and I retweeted it and all that. That was a very questionable, offensive foul call. And I'm not saying the Suns would have won the game if they would have, overturned that call or whatever it is, but that was a pretty bad foul. Campaign and TJ Warren had 3 fouls like before halftime. 3. Campaign had 3 in the first quarter. Let's keep going down the list here, shall we? Suns won the rebounding battle tonight, just barely by 1. It was 40-39. Suns had 30 assists in this game, which that's actually really surprising. We had 11 steals. Kings had 10 steals. 14 turnovers for the Suns compared to the Kings 15. Points in the paint. Suns won that battle 50-44. There was 26 fouls by the Suns. And I'm scared to read the Kings bench scoring tonight. Malik Monk, 18. Davion Mitchell, 13. Kessler Edwards, 12. And Trey Lyles, 13. Holy cow. They were cooking us tonight on their bench. They legit have solid players, you guys. Like this Kings team is for real. And I'm excited for them, man. I'm excited that they're going to end their 16-year playoff drought. Like they are legit. They're going to be a tough exit in the first or second round. I got to take another sip of my beer. Jason says, Craig and Ish Wainwright combined 2 for 12 and 1 for 10 on threes. Really? Yeah, that's another thing, you guys. Even though I thought, Ish Wainwright here and there hit a couple, decent shots and had a couple good moments. There was a really questionable offensive offensive rebounding foul that was called or whatever. Like Ish Wainwright was in the right spot and kind of just maybe was a little too aggressive on Sabonis and they called like the offensive foul or whatever. That was a little questionable. I thought that Ish Wainwright had some good moments out there. But in terms of shooting, since Jason just brought it up, let's talk about Ish Wainwright and Torrey Craig just real quick. So he is accurate on those stats. Ish Wainwright hit 1. Yeah, it was bad. 1 for 7, 1 for 6 for Ish Wainwright, and then 1 for 5, 0 for 4 for Torrey Craig. And one of those Torrey Craig threes, I forgot if it was in the fourth or the third quarter, but I think the Suns were on a fast break and Torrey Craig was in the corner. And I think he took a dribble and just launched the 3 up. And it was just it was like a little too aggressive, a little too fast, and it missed. And then, it was just a frustrating game from Torrey Craig. And again, I thought that Ish Wainwright had a few good moments in this game, but nothing really game changing. Let's get a little positive, though, because there is a lot that I want to talk about. You know what? Let's start with DeAndre Ayton, who I think has earned a drop tonight. And by the drop, I mean the drop that I spent maybe 5 minutes working on, like maybe 2 months ago. Check this out.
The Phoenix Suns select DeAndre Ayton.
DeAndre Ayton. I thought he had a pretty good game tonight, you guys. Played 37 minutes, 9 for 15 from the field, 22 points, 12 boards, 2 blocks, 2 steals. By the way, speaking of Ish Wainwright and his bad shooting, DeAndre Ayton would have had 1 assist tonight, and it would have been a nice assist. He was near the free throw line, he had the ball, and he just like chucked it to Ish Wainwright in the corner, and he missed. So I thought DeAndre Ayton had a really good game tonight. He seemed locked in from the start, had a lot of soft touches near the rim, really played aggressive, was hustling for the ball, played good on defense, I thought, had a lot of nice slam dunks and alley-oops and all that. There was that one play, that one highlight where Chris Paul, I think he took the screen, then Ayton rim rolled and just threw it down and hung on the rim for a minute. Thought that was really nice. But DeAndre Ayton played really good tonight, you guys. Thought he did well with Sabonis as well. Again, like, I don't know where the Suns would have been in this game without a DeAndre Ayton. So let's move on here. Let's talk about, I need to make a drop for Chris Paul, because in my opinion, y'all are going to call me crazy for this. Chris Paul had a vintage-esque, Chris Paul performance. You know what I mean? Like a prime vintage-esque Chris Paul performance. I thought he was really good. And Chris Paul is going to need to do performances like this while KD's out. Chris Paul tonight, 39 minutes, 16 points, 16 assists, 6 rebounds. He was 4 rebounds shy of a triple-double. Now, he did have 3 turnovers and 2 fouls. But a lot of those shots that he made, I felt like were really important. Like, he was taking the open shot. He was being the aggressor. He was taking over when he needed to. He's getting those famous mid-range shots that he gets. He was really good. And again, 16 assists. And I want to say like a lot of those were in the first half. I think I jinxed him when it came to 20 assists, because I even tweeted out, I said, 20 assists, Chris Paul watch. I think I jinxed it. But Chris Paul was great. We're going to need more Chris Paul like this while KD's out. And again, I thought DeAndre Ayton had a solid game. And we're going to need more of a DeAndre Ayton and Chris Paul games like this going in the future. They both were awesome. Let's move on here. I can't believe I've gone almost 20 minutes without talking about Devin freaking Booker. 39 minutes tonight. Keep in mind, Booker, Paul, both played 39 minutes each. Ayton played 37. Just keep that in mind. But Devin Booker, look, I know that what's Booker had in his last 4 games? Like 30. He's averaging like 38 per game his last 4. He had 44 last game, 40 something, and like 38, 36 or something like that, if I remember correctly. Booker's been cooking. Even though he only had 28 points tonight, he had a very efficient 48. I said 48 points. Devin Booker, even though he had 28 points tonight, Devin Booker had a very efficient 28 points. 11 for 19 from the field. He only hit 2 threes, but he had 8 assists, 3 steals, 3 rebounds. Now, he did get in a little bit of foul trouble, and he did have 4 fouls. But I thought he played really damn well tonight. Is there a part of me that wanted to see him maybe take the 3 a little bit more, maybe be a little more aggressive? Absolutely, especially with the week that he had and the week that he had prior to that and everything. Yeah, but an efficient 28 points on 11 for 19 shooting or whatever it was, I think that's good enough. I mean, there was a lot of factors. I'm not trying to make excuses for the Suns, but there was a lot of factors why we lost this game. I mean, again, like we had a decent lead at the start, and then we got into foul trouble, and we let our foot off the gas, and the Kings got to the free throw line like a million times. But again, there's a part of me that kind of wishes Booker was a little more aggressive, but I thought he was efficient. I thought he played really well tonight. And I can't believe I talked about Devin Booker without playing his drop.
Devin Armani Booker.
And again, I'm not saying that we would have won the game if Booker would have had that call overturned where he drove in on Sabonis and hit him on the face, and they called like an offensive foul or whatever. But that was kind of a key sequence, a key moment, a very controversial moment, if you will. I can't wait to read the last 2-minute report from the NBA tomorrow, because there was a lot of questionable calls in this game. I even jokingly said that the Suns should get fined, tomorrow. I pretty much tweeted that out. I hope that somebody says something they shouldn't, because the refs were terrible tonight. I think the Suns are a little too mature and professional for that, but I hope someone speaks up in defense of the Suns, because the officiating was really bad tonight. But let's keep going. Let's keep going, guys. Josh Okogie. I know that he shot 4 for 10 tonight, but he played 35 minutes. We all know what he does on defense. He is incredible. The guy is literally everywhere. He's always going for steals. He's always rebounding. He's hustling on defense. He's got active hands. He's moving his body well. He was incredible. But holy cow, you guys. He had not just one of the dunks of the year for the Suns, he had one of the dunks of the year for, I think, the entire NBA. And we're going to react to it. Now, I'm using a certain clip because there is copyright things, but this was freaking awesome. Let's watch Josh Okogie's dunk of the year, because this was freaking awesome. Takes the ball up, blows past Keegan Murray. No one steps in except for Malik Monk, and he throws it down. He got up. It was amazing. Look at this again. Okogie drives in. No defense. Malik Monk jumps up, and Josh Okogie throws it down. What a dunk from Josh freaking Okogie. Guys, that was incredible. And you know what? He had 15 points tonight. I know he didn't shoot the best, but as I mentioned, in the third quarter, Paul, Ayton, and Okogie scored like 8 or 9 times. And he was a little bit part of that third quarter push to get the Suns back into the game. And the dude, like there may be some statistical games where he's not, or some games where statistically he's not great, but like he still makes his impact felt at times. Even if it's like a great hustle offensive rebound or a huge block or whatever the case may be, even if he's just doing it defensively, he always seems to impact the game, especially as of late. Josh Okogie was freaking awesome tonight, despite only having 15 points. He did have a block really early in this game, too, so that's got to be worth noting. Josh Okogie was great. Whenever I decide to stop being lazy, I need to make a drop for him because he was freaking awesome. Vision says, Josh Okogie God, exactly. Like, he was so good, you guys. Mask Okogie is real. All right, let's see. Let's keep going here. I wish we could see a little bit more of TJ Warren. As I mentioned, he got into foul trouble. He had 3 fouls early on. He only played 4 minutes. I wish we would see more of him because I want to see TJ Warren unlocked. Jock Landale, I think, had like a really nice dunk early in this game. He only played 5 minutes. Let's talk about Cameron Payne for just a moment. He only played 7 minutes. Part of that reason is because of the foul trouble and because, in my opinion, he's just not really doing a great job as a playmaker. He's kind of getting a little too aggressive on offense, which is fine. He had a 3 early on where he was really patient. He like pump faked and he put the ball down, then he shot it and made it. But there were times where he was just a little too aggressive. He only had 2 assists in this game. And in my opinion, he's not really being that playmaking Cameron Payne. You know what I mean? I just think we need to see a little more consistency outside of scoring from Cameron Payne, in my opinion. And then someone I think Shot Chucker was responding to a comment, but Shot Chucker, hold on, what are we talking about? Someone got hurt. If you're talking about Torrey Craig getting hurt, yeah, Torrey Craig took a beating tonight, man. There was that play where he fell into the stanchion. seemed like he was grabbing at his toe and his foot a couple of times. Torrey Craig took a beating. I know that he had a really rough game, but he took a beating. Real quick, I hope I'm saying your name right. Or I'm just gonna say Wordsmith. I don't want to butcher your first name, but hey, Brandon, smash that like button. Yes, everybody crush that like button, y'all. Do me a favor, share the show, crush the like button, Hulk smash the like button. Tell people about Suns Geek. Keep watching this channel, y'all, and I really appreciate the support. All right, let's keep going. I'm just double checking the comments and everything. Yeah, Jason says Suns should play TJ Warren more than Ish. Now, here's the thing, just real quick. First off, Monty Williams has talked about it a lot. There's a lot of minutes to go around, and there's a lot of guys who deserve those minutes. You can't play everybody. Monty Williams has said that. But I just wish we kind of had a little bit more time left in the regular season. Because as I just mentioned, I want to see a little more TJ Warren. Now, obviously, he can't be getting into foul trouble like he did tonight. Even though the officiating was terrible tonight, he can't be getting into foul trouble, but he does need to be that consistent scorer that he once was. Even though TJ Warren can do a lot of things, he can play defense, he can get to the rim, he can do a lot of things out there. But I want to see Monty give him a little bit more minutes. And I'm not saying Ish Wainwright isn't deserving of those minutes, because we all saw how great he was in that Dallas game, how clutch he was in that Dallas game. And we all know that Ish Wainwright is a workhorse. He plays good defense. He can hit the corner three and all that. But I just wish there was a little bit more minutes to go around. I wish there was a little bit more regular season games so we could see more TJ Warren out. You know what I mean? I don't know, you guys. You tell me. Thank you, Andrew, for bringing up the next topic here. He said, T. Ross is nice today. Let's talk about Terrence Ross. Now, I know that there were some frustrating moments out there. There was a few times where he was a little bit too aggressive. And I think he had like a really silly turnover, I want to say in the fourth quarter. And he had some bad moments. But let's talk about the good moments. 23 minutes tonight, a very efficient 7 for 13 from the field. He had 3 threes. Now, he did attempt a little too many threes. 4 for 10 is not good, but he had 4 threes, which is the most on the team tonight, although Josh Kogi had 3 threes. 18 points off the bench, 2 steals. And guys, like we saw last game, I mean, what? Like last game, he had 24 points off the bench. Terrence Ross is going to win us some playoff games. I'm serious. He's going to help us win some playoff games. There were so many times tonight where I was like, man, if KD was out there, like, you know what I mean? Like Ross would have just been, he probably would have had more than 18 points if KD was out there. The separation that he's going to get, the open looks he's going to get, everything off ball and all that, like it's going to be amazing. If Terrence Ross can keep this up, I'm not saying that he needs to have, 24 and 18 every single game. But if he can continue to do this and be a little bit more consistent at times with that shot, maybe not go 4 for 10 from 3, but if he can go 7 for 13 like he did tonight, put up some nice points, hit those open shots, maybe not make some silly turnovers here and there, maybe play make a little bit, Terrence Ross is going to help win us some playoff games. He was really good for the most part. If Ross were to start, we'd be giving up 40 every quarter. Exactly. Like that's one of Terrence Ross's flaws. And in all fairness, some of the Suns' flaws as well is just the defense and giving up points. By the way, you guys, tonight, at the end of the first quarter, it was 32-31, although the Suns were up early. Then the Kings outscored the Suns in the second quarter, 36-27. Suns had that great third quarter. I repeat, that third quarter was arguably one of the best of the season. Excuse me. 36-29. And then the Kings won the fourth quarter, 32-24. So just wanted to bring that up. Let's see. Let's talk about the Kings for a minute. as I mentioned, their bench cooked tonight. Malik Monk had 18. Davion Mitchell had 13. Kessler Edwards, for some reason, decided to play really well tonight against the Suns. 26 minutes for Edwards, 12 points, 7 rebounds, 2 threes. For some reason, he was the aggressor tonight. He was that guy on the other team that just for some reason starts cooking the Phoenix Suns, because for some reason that happens. Domantas Sabonis apparently had like a thumb injury and still played. I could be wrong on that, but I thought I read something on that. 35 minutes tonight, 17 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. He's a beast. De'Aaron Fox with a very un-De'Aaron Fox type game. I mean, 18 and 6 on 8 for 22 shooting. I don't know what happened with De'Aaron Fox tonight. I didn't see much of him tonight. He's a fantastic player. He's an all-star for a reason. And yes, the Kings are going to make the playoffs this year. Kings fans should be excited. I'm even kind of slightly cheering for them because I like success stories. I like good, feel-good stories in the NBA. Light the beam and all that. But De'Aaron Fox, I didn't see much out of him tonight. I mean, again, 18 points, 6 assists, 8 for 22 shooting. Harrison Barnes, sort of an underrated performance, 19 points, 6 for 10 shooting. But again, this game for the Kings anyways was really all about their bench and that fourth quarter and the free throw attempts and the terrible officiating by the refs. Excuse me. Got to take a sip of my drink here. Yeah, YJP. We sort of talked about that earlier. Like that little flop. Yeah, that was a terrible offensive call. And the refs they blew that call. All right, y'all. Let's see. So I think that's it in terms of my thoughts on this game. If you guys have any questions or something or anything that you noticed, anything that stood out to you, get it in the chat right now. What we're going to do just real quick is we're just going to talk about the schedule. And then again, if you got any questions or something, let me know. We're going to talk about the schedule because we have 2 really big and important games coming up. I'll try to get to as many questions and comments as I can. But let's talk about the schedule, y'all. Oh boy. Now keep in mind, I screen capped this the other day so that you can see the Thunder and the Kings game that we already played. But Monday, March 13th, ESPN. Oh boy. Against the Golden State Warriors. They just had an overtime win against the Bucks tonight, and they pretty much dominated that overtime period. They do have Steph Curry back, and he's been balling. When the Warriors are healthy, y'all, I know that they have a terrible road record, and yes, trust me, they do. They have a terrible road record, but damn, when they are clicking, they are really damn good. We play them Monday, March 13th. 9 o'clock, ESPN. Then the Bucks the next day. So we go home after that. Thank goodness it's a home game. Tuesday, March 14th, 9 p.m. NBA TV against the Bucks. That's going to be a really tough game, y'all. That back-to-back is going to suck. I hope the Suns are ready. I hope that the Suns bench is ready. I hope that the officiating is fairly called. I hope that we are consistent. I hope that we can actually hit our threes, and I hope that we can close out on defense and especially guard the three-point line in those games. Now, I don't know if Giannis is going to play on Tuesday because he has had like a hand injury. I think even before, he barely played in the All-Star game because of an injury. But still, either way, the Bucks are a really damn good team with or without Giannis. Thursday, March 16th versus the Magic. Now, the Magic could potentially make the play-in tournament, but they're a young, scrappy team. And yes, that is a national TV game. Then we play the Thunder. We play them like 2 more times after this, I believe. Or, yeah, 1 more time after this. I'm sorry. Excuse me. They're a good team. Now, if they don't have SGA and Jalen Williams like they did last game, I give a higher chance to the Suns. But if they do have those 2, who knows what's going to happen. But they're a really good team. Then we play the Lakers, who have kind of been surging a little bit without LeBron. They had obviously a really good trade deadline. Then we played the Kings again. We all saw what the Kings were made of tonight. We played them March 24th. Then back to back, March 24th, March 25th, Sacramento. Then the Philadelphia 76ers. They're really good. Jazz, Timberwolves, Nuggets, OKC, Spurs, Denver, Lakers, Clippers. And that's it, you guys. That's our schedule. The NBA season has flown by. It has gone by so fast, y'all. So I just wanted to show you guys the remaining schedule. I've done that the past couple live shows where we've gone over the schedule. It's not going to get easy. And unfortunately, Kevin Durant is out for the foreseeable future. I'm hoping and praying that in 3 weeks or whatever it is, that he comes back with a clean bill of health and all the boxes are checked, as the Suns like to say. So before we get out of here, y'all, do me a favor. Go ahead. If you have your phone out, you can literally scan those links that are on the screen right now. They're like right here. Scan those links. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on TikTok. Yes, I did just say TikTok. Go ahead, scan those links, or just open up the apps and search Suns Geek and you'll find me. Follow me on social media, everybody. Let you guys do that for a second while I take a sip of my beer. I just put out a new episode of Reacting to Phoenix Suns Twitter, and Reacting to Phoenix Suns Twitter, episode 50, the 50th episode of Reacting to Phoenix Suns Twitter is coming out right after this live show. Crazy that I've done 50 of those. Also, you guys do me a favor. Speaking of Twitter, follow me on Twitter at Suns Geek. I'm always tweeting. And this has been a good show. I know it's a little bit of a shorter show, but it was a good show. Just real quick, I'll try to get to some comments here. My guy Coda Kid says Sacramento is a good team. Exactly. Warriors and Bucks next. Let's see. Dang, we don't have defense like to guard Curry or Clay since McHale guards those guys. Interesting comment. I agree with you, but that's where Josh Okogie needs to be huge. That's where, like, all of our starters need to be huge on defense that game. Because if Draymond Green sets a good screen and Klay Thompson rolls, I mean, someone's got to be there. We got to, and again, what did I talk about earlier in this stream? We got to guard that damn three-point line. So I do agree with you, but Josh Okogie's going to need to be elite on defense during the Warriors game. Let's see. Shot Trigger says, who made the schedule? We play the Justice one night and then the Avengers right after. Exactly. That's great. Last Call versus D-Book was trash, and not overturning upon review is even more pathetic. Exactly. I can't wait for the referee's explanation on that one. All right, y'all. Sorry for the shorter show tonight. I thought this was a good show. I feel like we covered a lot of it. Fingers crossed, y'all. Fingers crossed for a clean bill of health for the Suns. Fingers crossed for Kevin Durant. And get ready, you guys, because I'm not even joking. These next two games are going to be really tough, and the rest of the schedule is going to be really tough. I believe that the Phoenix Suns, like, I know we're going to make the playoffs. That's not really in question. But where we're going to be in the playoffs is a completely different thing. Like, every win matters at this point, you guys, especially with that tough schedule. But I'm just saying, like, every win matters, and every game for other teams is starting to matter. Because there's teams like the Mavericks, for example, that keep falling in the standings. And teams like the stinky Lakers are kind of slowly climbing up the standings. It's the Western Conference play-in is going to be nuts. The play-in tournament's going to be nuts. The standings race is going to be nuts. I don't know, y'all. Buckle up. It's going to get nuts. So I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for all of the support. I know that there's a lot of great Phoenix Suns podcasts and post-game shows and great Suns content out there. But I love you guys. Thank you guys for supporting me. Thank you guys for watching this live show. Thank you guys for listening to me rant. I appreciate the support. Keep up the great support. You guys are the absolute best. And again, I'm truly grateful for each and every single one of you. And do me a favor, y'all. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok and all that. So I'm out of here. I need to create myself a little outro. But with that being said, I'm out of here. God bless you guys. Peace out. And as always, go Suns. Peace.